Hey, Don here. Okay, back again with another live stream. We're gonna do another video on my Christmas shopping this year, December 2018. This is 17th now. I got these a week or so ago delivered, and let me go ahead and switch over to the wireless. So that I can. So I can go over there. Let's see, make sure. Oh yeah, I forgot to check my sound anyway. Make sure it's all good. And okay, yeah, we'll get. Nope, wrong view. That's not what I want. There. I can't see the words are a little small for me now. They won't. So I guess it depends on my eyes change a lot, you know, good and bad. Good, okay, so usable with these glasses too. These are just magnifying glasses. They're not real glasses, but I haven't had them checked. I always talk about my eyes. I haven't had them checked in a couple of years or more. Haven't really been able to afford to, but anyway. I am noticing some difference. So, but these are 125 magnifiers, and if I get I have some safety glasses, ones that are 150. That's too much to use on the computer, but it helps when I'm doing stuff. So anyway, this box has already been opened. I showed it before. Well, there was a couple of things in it. You can tell it's a Christmas box because it's got Christmas tape on it. But and it's probably going to be the wrapping for this thing. Get this stuff out of here. I went ahead and just left this one thing in here. I didn't have any other thing to put it in. I actually did order some Christmas bags, and they weren't big enough for that. I didn't want to spend $22 on a whole bunch of 16-inch bags, so I thought, well, spend $16 for about the same amount, I think, of smaller ones, but I don't know if I wasn't thinking straight or what, but they're way too much smaller. I only had one thing that would fit in there. But this is a toy for my great nephew, and I kept thinking about it, thinking, you know, you never know when stuff is not going to work, and I figured, and I don't want to give it to him and have it not work, and I also figured it's probably needs batteries, so I thought I'd get it out and check that. Which end's the best end? I guess this is the end they intended to open, and it is taped up. So get it done. Get the tape cut. It's better. I kind of thought, well, you know, it's not brand new if it's been opened and tried out. And I was thinking, really, to know if it's going to work, you need to try it out, right? And then I thought, and so anyway, I decided it'd be better to do that than not try it out and have him, you know, be disappointed when he got it. So, well, I put my knife up and I can't get my thumbnails, or I cut underneath my thumbnails by accident a lot. By when you know those little foil, you know, plastic on one side, foil on the backs on the other side, that cold pills and stuff come in. I constantly forget and give a little too much pressure trying to open those. I cut them with a knife first, and then I usually just I cut like 3 at a time and use one peel at a time, and so I'll just try to peel it open. Well, sometimes they open easy, sometimes they cut under my thumb. So I've got like thumb, finger, this finger, that thumb. I've got like 4 damaged thumb or fingers underneath my nails. So this is, if you might remember, you may know what this is, but I thought it was Hot Wheels at first, but it's not the Hot Wheels brand. It's, I guess, Adventure Force or something, but it's just like a Hot Wheels track, and I don't know how you're supposed to. Now all the tracks and everything are in there. I just kind of wanted to not take it apart anymore. I definitely don't want to break anything. I guess, yeah, you're going to have to, at least you don't have to tear it completely apart, I don't think. Let's see what it will take. Yeah, you're not going to get it out of there without really opening it up. I guess you got to open both ends. So I'm going to shut this in while I get this end open because I don't want everything falling out of there. I got clear tape. I just tape it back up. But guess I'll leave my knife until I'm sure if I need it anymore. Okay, there's some more. There's the track. I'm going to put it over here on the bed. Looks just like exactly same look and size of a Hot Wheels track. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to tear that bag open. I thought about setting it up, but I don't think I will because I thought about setting it up because it'd be fun to play with, but I don't think I will because I don't want to tear everything open. It'll just be kind of used by that time. Okay, and I think getting into the box is going to be more. I think I'll have to. This is one of those where you're basically going to rip the box open, and it's not going to work anymore. Looks like. I wanted to get the part out that has the battery, needs the battery, so that I could see. Put these things back again. I wanted to get that part out so that I could see the little short piece of track in there. But it's a double loop, and we had, well, yeah, my little brother had one. They didn't have that Hot Wheels when I was growing up, when I was little, but they came out with my brother. I was born in 1956, so you know, we had to play with Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs and stuff like that. Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs and pots and pans. Nah, we had cool stuff too, but we didn't have Hot Wheels until my brother got to be about 10 or so. And of course I played with him. But anyway, you could do a single loop, a double loop, and it had a complete circle. Now this one, that's fine, because all we ever really did was run them through the loop and run them off the track. But this one, it's really just a straight track that you have 2 loops in, and then it jumps off the end. And that's the fun part anyway. Now I thought it was going to have more than one car, but it doesn't. It's got one. And it jumps out of the dinosaur's mouth. You know what? I just realized what this is supposed to be like. It's supposed to be like, or well, it shows it in the picture jumping across the dinosaur's mouth, but I can see that the dinosaur's part of the track, so the picture's not even what it really does. But anyway, I guess it's supposed to be like the dinosaur. I saw that newest dinosaur movie. It was fun. Yeah, here's a picture of the whole thing there. Turn it the other way. I guess let me, I know there's a terrible reflection, and since I'm not going to get it out, oh, that's not good. That's no good. There we go. So, yeah, see you started this in, wait, which end do you start at? Oh, yeah, you started this in, and it goes through the 2 loops and then lands in the dinosaur's mouth. So I guess you can make him jump in his mouth, through his mouth, or whatever. But it doesn't have the turns in the loops like a regular Hot Wheels tracks used to have back in the day. So anyway, it looks like it'd be fun. And you can do things like, well, of course, it all depends on this little, I'm sure it's just like, when my brother had one, it was like a little house, a garage or a barn that had little spinning wheels that ran on a battery, you know. And I did not find the little motor yet. I was into both ends of it. I still didn't see it. Oh, that gray part that I didn't get out. Okay, well, we'll have to get more stuff out then. Oh, I'm back at the other end. Okay, now, if I can just get this gray... Wait a minute. Oh. It's not battery powered, I don't think. How about that? You know what? I like that. This is not battery powered. It's it's rubber band powered. Now that's what we had in my day. Rubber band powered stuff. We had a propeller on a wooden stick with a rubber band, and you wind it up and let it go and watch it spin. Darn thing would cut your fingers too if you didn't look out. Look out. But that's all you do. You just pull it back. I'll show it from this side. So there's no batteries needed. I like that because, you know, batteries are a pain in the butt. You should be able to just push that to make it let go. There we go. It didn't want to do it while it was sitting on the box, maybe because yeah, the box was giving on me. I'm not going to keep doing it, but it's a pretty hefty rubber band. So yeah, if yours quits working, then get a new rubber band. Of course, don't break this stuff, but yeah, the rubber band just goes like that and like that. I mean, you can't get more simple than that. I'll show it under here. Let me go get. Let me get my. Let's put this over here. We get it on the endoscope. Okay, now it doesn't want to stay together. I was trying to put the lid on it because I don't want all that stuff falling out. That's usually the first thing that happens is everything falls out on you. So, yeah, I was all prepared to set the thing up on the bed, but I don't want to rip open the sack for it. And now I see there's no batteries needed. It's actually good because that's usually what happens to stuff like that is you know, battery goes bad. Now here's the rubber band part I was talking about. It's just looped around that, and that's up. Upside down, so that's what the top part looks like. Turn it around here. That's the button you push. So when you pull it back, locks in, and press that button. It isn't. You got to press on it. Ow! How come I'm not able to do it this time? It just doesn't have a lot of space underneath there, but I had it on the flat on the table. It might be a little hard to do. Well, actually, the carpet would probably make it easier to do. I don't know. Let's see. There. My fingers are old, and I guess I'm getting the beginnings of arthritis. I just can't push all that hard. It's at far, you know, I have my hand. I'm sitting over here in front of the computer. I forgot to sit down over there. I sat out of my chair where it normally is in front of the computer and was reaching across. Anyway. Cool. So I really do like that it doesn't. I hadn't even bothered to read the box or anything. I was shopping for days. That day I bought this, I'd looked at probably 80 to 100 things, you know, that were on sale on Walmart. That's where I got it. And I just got to thinking about how much fun we actually did get it out and play with it once in a while, you know. So I thought, instead of like most things that you just don't usually get out again. So I thought this would be pretty cool, especially for his age. He's 3 or 4 years old now, so it's not too complicated. And actually, I'm sure you could. I think it looks to me like regular Hot Wheels tracks would work with this. So whatever you got, you know, or you could buy another kit of this and make it bigger, you know. You used to always be able to do that with Hot Wheels, just like you can with I was starting to try to read the box and lost my train of thought. Looks like that's basically what you can do with this. Anyway, yeah, and I'm sure you can buy more cars. It's only got one, but you can't shoot but one of them at a time anyway, so. And of course, you know how the big boys' toys, it's like Hot Wheels are big boys' toys now. You know, they sell them on eBay and collect them, and they think they're worth more money if they're unusual or And of course, it's all planned by the Mattel company. They let out. I mean, I had a friend that was really into that, selling them on eBay, and he'd go to Walmart on the day that he'd find out when they were going to let out a certain one that was worth more than you'd pay for it at Walmart, and he'd buy them as many as he could and then go sell them on eBay. It was the boringest thing I ever did to me. Waiting 30, 45. He wanted to be the first, so you know, and he was actually. I think there was one person ahead of him. We started, you know, you're just standing around there in the toy department, old men standing around in the toy department looking kind of conspicuous. Anyway, he started talking to another guy that we figured, you know, he's probably doing it too, and he was, and they talked to their big boy. His eBay name was Big Boy Toys, or Big Boys Toys, or something like that. That's what made me think of that. But anyway, what we considered big boys' toys was Z28s and Corvettes in my generation, and big four-wheel drive vehicles. That's what we called big boys' toys. They weren't toys; they were machines that were expensive that most of us could only dream of having. But although I never had a. Well, I didn't. I had a SS Chevelle, 70 SS Chevelle that I got in about 76. Well, I used to build hot rods and stuff. Turn things into hot rods if that weren't already is what I used to do. But, and I have still. I bought 1992 76 Chevy Blazer. And of course, even as old as that thing is, and there's been many years when I couldn't even afford to buy tires for it. And they're not even the, you know, I had to quit buying 35s like I used to and buy 35-inch tall tires and buy used 33s because it's all I could find used. So yeah, those toys can be expensive, even on the low end. All right, so I wish that I had a better lighting setup where it's not too dark but not too bright. But well, I guess I could try real hard, but I'm really done looking at that part anyway. So. Only thing I was wondering about was, did it have, let me get the box and where I can hold it in front of me and look at it. I was wondering, does it have, what does it say on there? Because I really didn't read the thing. It just says Adventure Force Chomp and Crunch track set. Take on the double loop and beat. It looks like an R. Beat the dyno. So it's kind of a generic Hot Wheels set that's taken to be, like I said, taken off the movie. And it doesn't say anything about official, you know, usually if they want to make it cost more money, they say official from the so-and-so movie or whatever, you know. So this one looks to be made just exactly the same quality as Hot Wheels or anything, so should be fine. Here's the track again right there. But the car looks fatter. And the car doesn't look, well, the original Hot Wheels had metal bodies and plastic tires. That one has plastic, all plastic. I could see that. But as long as it rolls good, that's fine. And if it doesn't, I guarantee you could roll Hot Wheels on that thing. Yeah, they would fit that track. So, yeah, I think it's good. And it was a good price. It was on sale. You know, well, it was a good price when it was on sale. The day I decided to go ahead and get stuff, I didn't get it on the, you know, Black Friday weekend. I waited probably a week to do that part of my shopping. I actually did my own shopping for myself and myself and my mom and stuff. Actually, no, I didn't get Mom's right away. Well, I looked for my mom. I looked for a motherboard for her. I was going to put a motherboard, a newer, brand new motherboard in the computer I've been building for her, and they went up on the price for Christmas instead of going down on those things. So the ones that of the type that I wanted. So go desktop here, and I'll just show you a little more about what it is I got. And close that. And yeah. Now I thought I had my. Yeah, oh yeah, there's a delay. I looked over and saw the delay on my stream. I thought, oh no, the terrible delay's back. But no, it is about 20, 30 seconds behind. That's the way it works. So Oh, let me go ahead and switch mics. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, now we're on the SM58 since I'm not going to be moving around. And I will turn on my audio preview over there on my, yeah, make sure everything's still working. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show that. Well, that turned out a lot shorter than I expected. But that's good, actually, because I have lots of work I need to do. I need to finish my server. I got hung. Actually, last time I worked on it, I made a mistake, so I need to fix all that. But where am I going to go? Okay, I'm going to, as soon as this opens up, I'm going to go to Walmart. That's where I'm going to have to go. But yeah, on the Black Friday weekend, I ended up getting myself a hard drive and a network switch, and I think what else? I don't remember. I have only got stuff for myself during that time. But anyway, this year I ended up actually having some money, so I knew that I could do both. You know, get myself something and other people. So let's see. Yeah, I just remembered. I don't know. You're gonna see my pretty face for a minute because I don't know what you're gonna see here when I look in my order section. I don't know if you'll see things I don't actually want to show. Definitely is not interesting. I can see that. Okay. And where's the rest of it? I just realized. Well, where is it? It's not. The thing is not showing up in my orders. Oh, there it is. It was just a tiny little picture of it. It didn't have its own thing. Okay, yeah. Now this is the only thing I'm. Only 5 left. That's probably the sale price. It's really tricky to see. Doesn't show that. Well, you can go on details or something, but oh, that was the part I probably didn't want to. It's not just an order number and stuff. Anyway, this is it, and I think it's still the same price. It was supposedly marked down. So anyway, thought there would be a little more information. I thought there would be more pictures to look at or something. That's what I was thinking. That would show a close-up of it. But it's just, this is what it's supposed to, be like. And I thought, looking at it just now, I was thinking, okay, you put him in the back of the dinosaur, and the dinosaur has batteries and motors. With what the old Hot Wheels one had was these spongy wheels and a motor, electric motor that ran on batteries, and you would shove it in the one end of the garage, and it would shoot out the other end, and with enough force to go around, it would make a single loop real good. It would make a double loop if you didn't build it too high. Of course, you could make the loops as high or low as you wanted, and I guess you could do that. Well, this, you don't have enough track to do more than kind of what it looks like right there. I can see that. But this thing back here is the spring-loaded trigger, so I'm sure it will work, and it'll be fun. What I figured it'd be fun to, once you get tired of jumping into the dinosaur's mouth, you can have contests to see who can go the furthest. Because even with the electric motor or with this thing, I'm sure it won't jump the exact same distance every. And the thing is, if you get other cars, if you get some more of these cars or some more Hot Wheels cars, then they're gonna each one, because of want to be heavier or lighter than the other, and the aerodynamics even, it will make them. That's what we did. What my brother said. We tried all the different, 5 or 10. It probably ended up with 10 of those Hot Wheels cars. And so we would try different ones, and we would, see who could win and who could pick the car that would jump the farthest just by looking at it and picking it up and holding it, seeing how heavy it was. But this is the little car that comes with it. It's not too complicated. Of course, I imagine his dad or mom or both will have to set it up for him. But once he learns it, he can probably do it. Oh, it's got a little thing, looks like 2 halves of fake barrels, or maybe that's what's in the dinosaur's mouth already. I didn't pay attention. Anyway, it jumps through that. Yeah, so it won't go off and go too far. That dinosaur's kind of to slow it down, I think. Maybe that, whatever that is in there, would slow it down enough. But that's, there's the little kid shooting it. So I think it's pretty good especially for that price. So thought it showed what the original price was when I was buying it before, but I don't see anything about that now. But it says age range 4 to 12. So I learned from from myself, mostly my little brother when I was big enough to know the difference. Usually, and then I raised 3 kids of my own. So after I got grown up, so I learned that get something like if it says 4 to 12 or whatever, if it says ages 3 to 6, then you could, what am I trying to say? Get something, usually if you'll get something that is a year or two ahead of whatever age they are, is what I'm trying to say. They're using a lot wider age ranges on this one. That makes sense. It does. But some of them, they like if you get little bitty kids toys, like if you get a 3-year-old toy for a 3-year-old, usually don't enjoy it. They enjoy something that's listed for 4, 5, or 6-year-old. That's what I'm trying to say. And besides that, after, you can always remember what you thought was fun or what your kids enjoyed and stuff. We got that same. We got different. I don't remember we had a Hot Wheels track for my son, and I had 2 daughters and a son. And I don't remember how much played with it, but we had all those things. And I got him. And see, I really love my slot car set. I would get that thing out every once in a while, electric slot cars, and big boys play with those too. Anyway, I know made sure I got one of those for him, and we kept messing with it till the cars wore out and wouldn't hardly run anymore, And of course, you can buy more cars, but they were pretty expensive. I don't think we ever did that. But I usually just kept working on them, and make them work again, And like I said, I loved them when I was a kid, so I already knew how to play with them a lot, how to work on them and stuff. And my other favorite thing I had myself was my dad got me a train set, a real Lionel. Was it Lionel? HO trains. I think it's called HO train set. I think HO has to do with the size or something. Well, there's scale sizes. But anyway, how special. So did you enjoy that whole tour of the website? Did you really like that? Yeah, I thought you would. All right. Let's try that one more time. I'm so forgetful with this. When I first set this up, I wasn't near as bad, setting up this scene switching and everything. Okay, there it is. So everything I thought I was showing you, good, bad, or indifferent, I wasn't. So there's nothing really on the page but these pictures, really, that was worth showing. Here's the whole thing set up. You can probably see that better than on the picture on the box, maybe. And there's the loop. And I forgot to mention, what I loved the most about it was the loop or double loops. The fact that it could even make it around those loops. And actually, my brother said you could change the speed of how fast the car was going depending on how you shoved it through the little house with the electric motors. And like you could give it a running start and it might come out faster, but sometimes it would make it just have a wreck on the way out of the house or never even make it out of the house. I don't remember all the details, but it might have had a speed setting on it too. And of course, if your batteries were old, it wasn't going to go as fast. This one, it's preset with your rubber band. Of course, if your rubber band gets old, it won't go as fast out of there, and then the rubber band will break one day. You'll have to have some rubber bands around somewhere, but that's pretty easy to get some rubber bands. Better than batteries and motors that wear out. That's the thing with something with a little electric DC motors, and the motors will just die and quit working. That was where it's showing it where it's supposed to go. There's a barrel thing. It looks like 2 halves of plastic barrels. Like that's what it looks to me like. Like a dinosaur's been eating barrels. I don't know why he would eat barrels, but and there's the picture of the whole thing set up with the little kid playing with it. But that's the funnest part of the Hot Wheels set that my brother had, was the double loops, or single or double loop. Like I said, if you could make a single loop and make it really tall, like as tall as you are setting 3 or 4 foot tall, not 4 foot, but you could get up about 2.5, 3 foot, and it would still make it with one loop. With double loops, you could do. Actually, I think the ones we were able to do about 2 foot tall loops or something, or maybe it's 1.5 foot or something. But anyway, that's what I was trying to show. And then. And like I said, it's pickup not available. I think they sold them all. That you were saying a minute ago when I was looking at it, it said hurry and buy. Oh, there it is. Somehow I clicked on something. Hurry and buy now, $9.97. I'm sure that's what I paid for it. I didn't see it in my orders page when I was looking at it. But Adventure Force is the brand. Oh, okay. So it's not I doubt that it's a movie brand, or anything from that dinosaur movie. It doesn't say anything about that movie, so just says it's just kind of a copy. But and of course, I looked at the reviews to see if it looked like it fell apart or anything like that on the first run, and it seemed okay. So it's only got 7 reviews, but Walmart typically doesn't get anywhere near the amount of reviews that Amazon does. But sometimes that's actually you don't see. I don't remember really. I mean, not that I do remember every review I ever read. I don't. But I don't remember seeing a bunch of like reviews saying, "Well, these are obviously people who got free products like you do on Amazon." You just can't hardly trust, a big large portion of the reviews. And then on Amazon, the other bad thing is they won't even be reviewing what you're looking at. They'll be reviewing, especially like with electronics and stuff. You're looking at a Netgear network switch that I bought, and they're reviewing another size, a whole lot older model or a whole lot newer model or whatever. It's just all mixed and matched in there. And generally on Walmart, from what I've seen, is they're reviewing the item that you're looking at. So for a while there, I thought those Walmart reviews are no good. They don't have enough reviews to tell you anything. But I'm starting to realize that the more as bad as the Amazon review system has got, with full of they're almost fake reviews. People that they don't want them to stop giving them new stuff. So they don't want to give it a really bad review. Some people are they're a little more honest, and the ones I do like is when they make a video, because then you can see what they're not saying, or you can see if they seem to be telling the truth. So I think that's all right. That's that reflection just makes it where you can't see it. But anyway. That's all I need to do then. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to work, and I think it will. The only moving part on it was that little deal that I just, that rubber band launcher. And looks like, I don't know, as hard as it was for me to match that, at his age, he may have. Maybe it's just like sometimes on those kind of things where you push on the little switch, might be a lot harder or a lot easier, so he may find a spot to push on it where it'll let it go easy. If not, then he might have to have some help to play with it. He'd have to have, right now, like I said, I think he's somewhere between, probably 3.5 to 4. I can't remember exactly how old he is now. And so he'll probably need help setting it up anyway. Once he gets it set up a couple of times, I'm sure he'd learn how to do it himself if he likes it and he wants to play with it. And things like this, the reason I just went ahead and decided to get this is because we actually did get that Hot Wheels kit out every so often for several years. We got it out. I remember we got it out when my brother was probably about 14 and played with it, a couple of times. So he got it when he was about 10, or maybe even 8. And we'd put it all back in the box and put them away until we were interested in it again. And my train set was mounted on a piece of plywood, and I loved that thing, and I would get it out sometimes. When I was young, when I was growing up, the garage was mostly empty, not like now, full of stuff, and I had a pool table on one side of the garage, and we didn't keep cars in the garage because the doors were so heavy. Only us kids could open the doors. My mom couldn't open and close the doors. There were those old wooden doors, and she couldn't do it. She's 5'2", and a lady. So anyway, I had half the garage made into a hangout room, and I put up old shower curtains to divide it between the rest of the garage and stuff. Put carpet down. Didn't, just laid it out. And anyway, I was allowed to paint the walls the way I wanted to. I had peace signs on the wall. I had fluorescent. Everything was painted it white, and then put fluorescent paint on peace signs and whatever the heck I wanted to draw on there. And then my mom had gotten me a black light. She didn't want me doing it in my room, and I don't blame her. And so, but I was allowed to do it in the garage. So when I was, big teenager, probably before I started driving, when I'd have more time, to wanting something to do around the house, I'd set that 4x8 sheet of plywood with the train track would just exactly fit on top of that pool table. So I'd set up my train set on there, and I remember we got to, somehow it was around the 4th of July or New Year's Eve, we decided, hey, well, the train would go, it was a good train, a Lionel HO train set. I still have it. It's out there in the garage. I just can't get to it. I'm sure it would still work with some cleaning, but you'd have to clean. Those tracks would rust, and you'd have to sand them. I've spent on how long sanding those tracks because they wouldn't get connection and the train wouldn't go. It's electric. And anyway, it had a real powerful power supply, and you can make it go fast enough to. It was just an oval track, and then it had a switch back. You could go like this way and then back again or something. And on the regular oval, you could go. We would go. See how fast you could go without it, it would go off the track if you try to go around the corners too fast, like a real train, And so then I remember we were messing with it one day, and we decided, we had firecrackers. So we decided, hey, let's blow up the train track. And so we started putting firecrackers and trying to time it so they would go off. That was really hard to get it to happen. It took probably 30 minutes to an hour, and I wasted a lot of firecrackers trying to get it to the firecracker to blow up just as it went under it. And finally we succeeded a couple. And I think, the very first time, or maybe the second time we succeeded, the train quit running. Well, it instantly got everything so dirty with the gunpowder residue and the paper and everything else. So then we started, I think we had a chicken box from like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something. And this was a box, not the big round. Originally they had those round barrel things that they still put in the commercials sometimes, but I haven't seen one in about 40 years, 30 years. But I guess you can still get them. But anyway, we had a big box, and we'd put firecrackers in it and set it in front of the train track. Of course, it'd just run into the box and shove it around, but it was great fun when it was being shoved around. It would blow up while it was being shoved around. We'd pretend it was a building or something. So, and I always dreamed I had seen. Back in those days, you didn't have the internet to get to see everything that everybody's doing like we do now on YouTube, but still we'd see stuff like that, in magazines or on TV shows maybe once in a while. Anyway, I knew that some people, I think I actually saw a real one time, people would build mountains and streams and everything else out of, I think they made it like, what do you call that, salt. I remember when I was a kid, younger, in probably 5th, 6th grade, I built me a salt volcano, salt rock, or whatever. I don't know what we call it, but anyway, you mix salt and flour and a bunch of other stuff, and you build a shape, and then once it dries, it's really hard, and then you can paint it with watercolors and watercolor paints and stuff, and try to make it look like whatever it is. Well, I wanted to make a volcano, and I found somewhere, probably in the back of a magazine. I was always looking at stuff like that, how to make a volcano, that would erupt, and that's what I wanted to do, but mine didn't erupt right. I think I didn't have the right stuff, and I tried to use, knowing me, I could have tried anything. I know one thing, and this is dangerous, but I figured out one day that if you pour Drano, the crystal, I don't know if you can buy them anymore, the old crystal Drano, pour that in the sink and then pour bleach in on top of it, it makes smoke, lots of toxic fumes. They can kill you, so don't do that, kids. I nearly hit the floor one day I decided, okay, and I saw that I could tell that and this was before I found out it could actually kill you. I just knew it was bad fumes and it burned your throat and your eyes. And I would just, open the house and stay away from it. My mom worked. She didn't get home until after we did all these things. So, and my dad died when I was 4, so there wasn't nobody else to keep us out of trouble. I was the one keeping us out of trouble. I was the oldest. I was causing the trouble. But I decided to pour everything under the sink that I could think of in there. And I poured Drano and bleach and Mr. Clean and pine saw in there, and it started. The fumes got worse and worse, and I decided I could smell them out in the room, but I decided to get over them just a bit to see how bad they were, and I nearly hit the ground instantly. And of course, then it made me dizzy, and I'm out of it just that quick, just like that. So I said, "Open the doors, open the windows." I don't think they were open. Well, one way or the other, I don't know if we had them open already, but anyway. And then I realized, get out of here. I told my brother, and of course my sisters, "What are y'all doing?" Kind of, I don't know I don't even know if she was there, but that's what she would have said. "What the heck are y'all doing? I'm going to tell." And so anyway, we went outside until it quit. And I guess that's how come back then you had metal drain pipes, metal P-traps, not plastic. And I guess that's why they kept getting holes in them and rusting out. And I figured that out. I'm sure that's why. So anyway, after that, I didn't play that game. I didn't do that anymore. And I was way too big to even had more sense than that. Wow, I don't know. I was either 12 or 14. I don't know when that happened. So yeah, it's better to have toys to play with, kiddies. Don't play with Drano and bleach and all that stuff, and firecrackers. Only do firecrackers under the supervision of a responsible adult. Now, not all adults are responsible, because I'm telling stories again. Because I had a little place out in the country, and we could do fireworks out there, as long as, of course, we didn't want to burn the whole countryside down, so we didn't do it on dry years. That's just logical, right? But this was actually the last year, right before I sold the place and moved, and this was after I was divorced, and so I had friends, I had made single friends and stuff, and so, but I was about 33, 35, so my son was about 14, my oldest daughter was about 17, and my other daughter was, 2 years younger than my son. So had some friends come over for one of the last, we only had them come over, people come, because I lived out in the country, and all my friends, I volunteered for concert ministry up in, right in between Dallas and Fort Worth in an area called Euless, and I lived out in Azle, and I do now, but I lived way out in the country then. And so anyway, since I had they wanted to do fireworks, just one friend in particular really liked fireworks. So I said, well, let's have a barbecue, So I had them all come out. And we had a great time, and we were trying to take care of luckily there were some girls there that was helping us with cooking and stuff, because I like to cook, barbecue for a party or something, but there was so much going on. And then I like to do fireworks with the kids, but there was so much going on. I was jumping back and forth trying to take care of everything. I like to be a host. And so, right, my friend went off, and he was about 24 or something like that. He's a lot younger, and so, but he was grown up, I thought. And so him and Dawn and my younger daughter, I think, were over popping firecrackers and shooting off ball rockets and stuff. And I'm in the middle of all the food preparation and everybody asking me questions and all that. Well, all of a sudden something's wrong, and my son comes up and his hands are burned, and I mean they were burnt bad. They were like 3rd-degree burns. And it's like, well, what happened? What were y'all doing? And I'm thinking, first thing we learned about firecrackers, you don't ever have your hands near them when they go off, right? Well, my friend, I won't say his name. I keep wanting to say his name, but I won't say his name because, somebody might know him. He was showing my son how to do something that he did when he was a kid, and how he got away with it, I'll never understand. You break a firecracker in half, and it kind of stays together. You just don't break it all the way, and it'll stay together, and it's just like that. And it's exposing the inside, and then you light that inside, and it spews kind of like a bottle rocket. And we used to do it all the time, but we set them down on the ground or on the pavement. They would spin sometimes. That was fun. There was one you could buy that was a spinner. It actually was kind of a lot more expensive than a whole bunch of firecrackers, and so we'd make our own spinners. And so you could put them in the dirt, and they would just they would get hung up. They might jump around a little bit. And then usually after they spawn a while, most of the time they would pop, and it was great fun. Whenever the ignited part got into the more packed up part of the firecracker. So my friend had showed my son, "Oh, just hold it in your hand and do it." And so he was doing one, and it popped big time. And like I said, gave him 3rd-degree burns. And so, I mean, it almost put him out of doing any fireworks at all. I mean, my son was brave, and he didn't want to quit playing and everything. But so basically, he was doing the rest of his fireworks in one hand. It had to go get medicine and wrap him up and gauze in his hand and everything. And I didn't want it to get infected, so I was going to make sure we got him wrapped up good. And of course, I got burned, doing crazy fire stuff like that too. But firecrackers, you always end up. The thing about firecrackers, we used to throw them a lot. We used to love to just light them and throw them, light them and throw them. Well, when you do that long enough, first thing you're going to get at least 3 of them per 20 that are going to pop right here by your ear. And if it's still in your hand, then, boy, that hurts bad. And I got some burns, but nothing like the burn my son had. I don't know if it was just burning the living crap out of him and he was just so excited or so brave or what that he wouldn't let go of it. Because, you would think that if it was burning you pretty bad, you would throw it down, But anyway, I was pissed, really. I was like, I told my friend, I was pretty pissed. I was like, I trusted you with my son's safety. I did say something about, I don't let him get hurt. And I never dreamed. I'd never been around him before with fireworks or anything. We were always, most of all of us friends that were there were all together putting on concerts for other people. We weren't just having barbecues and stuff. We had really never done that before. This was after we'd been working together, volunteering for several years. But I never dreamed that he I think he was 24, would not have enough sense to tell a little kid, 14-year-old or little, not that little, 14, tell him to hold a firecracker of any kind, any kind of burning anything. And so, of course, I knew my son would do what this guy told him. This guy was cool, right? So I kind of ate him out. Everybody says, "Well, golly, Don." I said, "Well, you ought to have more sense than that." And besides, that is my son. But there's only a couple of times we did it when I was growing up. My brother was always getting hurt, and it wasn't always my fault. Sometimes it was my fault. But we did a lot of dumb stunts, making jumping ramps and stuff like that. But with my kids, I had learned from my mistakes for the most part. so I was pissed that my kids have been doing fireworks since they were, too little to do it by themselves. Give them sparklers was the only thing. They were 3-4 years old. Because let's see, well, they're all very little when we moved out to the country, so they grew up out there. So we always could do fireworks every year, and every 4th of July, every New Year's Eve. Of course, they were just then big enough to stay up for. This was 4th of July. I said I didn't know, but I know what it was. It was we're having a barbecue outside, and it was daytime, so it was 4th of July. So yeah, but anyway, I made sure my son didn't make the mistakes I did of trying to light and throw firecrackers and having them blow up in your hand and by your ear and making your ear ring for a week and you're deaf in that ear for 3 days. And I did that, but I made sure he didn't have those problems. But my friend liked to burn his hand off, and so so anyway, that's enough stories. Yeah, this is a lot safer. That's a safe toy. Now, just don't stand in front. Now, here's one thing. Max, don't stand in front of the end of the track and let the car jump in your mouth, because I guarantee you'll lose a tooth doing that. The dinosaur catches the car, not you. So don't stand in front of the track trying to catch it. I don't care how excited you get and how much of a good idea it seems at the time. You stay on the back end where you set it off, and don't put nobody up in front of the other end. As a matter of fact, I think you probably need a pillow or a cushion to help catch it, because it's not going to always. It may hit that dinosaur on the corner of his mouth and fly out. So don't have it to where it's going to hit your mama's little, grass trinkets on the shelf or the TV or anything else like that. So I warned you now. Don't do that. All right. Well, that's enough going on about everything. So
we'll see how all of it goes. So, well, that's done. I'm gonna go now, and hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Bye bye.